In this thrilling horror saga, a mysterious plant-based pathogen triggers a devastating virus outbreak. Infected individuals undergo horrifying transformation, their decayed bodies merging with moss, flowers, and even trees, becoming grotesque hybrids of nature and decay. These skeletal, zombie-like figures, known as the reclaimed, often blend seamlessly into forests and overgrown landscapes, lying in wait to strike. Some believe that this is nature's revenge against humanity for its environmental destruction. Years after the outbreak, Ethan, a young man with no memory of his past, awakens in a wrecked car. He recalls fragments of a car accident with his girlfriend, Emma, while they were driving. Disoriented, he ventures into the ruins of a now deserted city in search of her, only to find it eerily empty. Suddenly, he encounters a truck with a rifle-wielding man atop it. Ethan pleads his case, revealing his amnesia. But memory loss is one of the virus's early symptoms, and the cautious man decides not to take any chances. Before he can fire, a shot rings out from the shadows, taking him down. A mysterious woman emerges, swiftly eliminating the rest of the truck's occupants. Ethan explains that he's searching for Emma, but she warns him of the danger lurking in the wilds. While she works to restart the abandoned truck and clear the bodies, Ethan reflects on the accident, their trip to the lake, their last moment together. As she hauls the bodies away, she asks Ethan for help, but before he can assist, exhaustion overtakes him and he collapses, leaving the enigmatic woman to manage alone. Moments later, Ethan wakes up in an unfamiliar room, unsure of how he got there. He cautiously descends the stairs and encounters the mysterious woman who saved him. She introduces herself as May. Concern fills her eyes as Ethan mentions his amnesia. She offers him fresh clothes, a simple but comforting gesture. Ethan reveals that he and Emma had stocked up on supplies, planning to ride out the viral apocalypse in a secluded cabin they had prepared. He insists Emma is probably waiting for him there now. Before leaving the room, she cautions Ethan not to touch anything, revealing her home is rigged with traps for protection. Curiosity gets the better of him as Ethan steps outside, wondering about May's true nature. While examining his surroundings, he stumbles upon a reclaimed, its body perfectly camouflaged with the surrounding nature. As May busies herself with a solar power generator, she introduces the zombie as Myrtle, cautioning that as long as Ethan keeps his distance, Myrtle won't attack. Eager to help, Ethan claims expertise with generators. With surprising confidence, he fixes the generator, leaving May astonished and dismissing her doubts. Realizing the house is deep in the forest, Ethan asks if May ever feels lonely. She jokingly replies that she has Myrtle for company. They head back inside, and May bolts the door, catching Ethan off guard. She assures him she's not planning to kill him, humorously adding that he could easily overpower her if she tried. Suddenly, May pulls out a gun and offers it to Ethan, daring him to shoot her. Shocked and bewildered, Ethan refuses, unable to fathom her intentions. May then reveals the twisted catch. If he had pulled the trigger, he would have died instantly, as the gun was specially designed by her. Later, Ethan helps recharge the solar batteries, pedaling away on a bike to generate kinetic energy. As music plays in the background, May invites him to dance, but sensing his discomfort, she suggests a game of cards instead. After the game, Ethan insists he must search for Emma, as he had promised to protect her. May advises him to wait until morning, warning that he wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of Myrtle. Urging him to rest, she heads off to sleep. Ethan, ignoring May's advice, ventures outside wielding a metal bar for protection against any reclaimed. He sneaks into the solar truck and drives off into the thick of the night, heading to the cabin at Candle Lake, hoping to find Emma there. Upon reaching Candle Lake, instead of Emma, he encounters a woman and her son hiding in the shadows. Feeling threatened by his presence, the woman disarms Ethan with a gun, demanding to know his intentions. He assures her that he's only searching for his girlfriend and means no harm. Suddenly, they hear approaching footsteps. It's a reclaimed. They rush to shut the door just in time, but the worn-out barrier can't hold for long. The reclaimed bursts through, grabbing the woman as she fights to break free. In the chaos, Ethan picks up the woman's gun, but to his dismay, it's empty. Desperate, he grabs a hammer lying on the floor and repeatedly bashes the reclaimed skull, finally freeing the woman from its clutches. Afterwards, they fortify the door to prevent any more reclaim from entering, But Ethan is astonished to see the reclaim that attacked them still moving, despite its bashed skull. Seeing that Ethan poses no danger to her family, the woman introduces herself as Jolene. She admits that if the gun had been loaded, Ethan would have been dead. Curious about the bandage on his arm, Jolene asks how he got injured. Ethan explains that he was in an accident and his girlfriend Emma, who is a doctor, had dressed the wound. Jolene reveals she's been in the cabin for weeks and hasn't seen anyone apart from the plant-infected creatures. Ethan insists that Emma will definitely come, as this is their designated spot. Moments later, Ethan drifts off to sleep while Jolene keeps watch. The next morning, he wakes up covered in blood, puzzled by what had transpired. He finds Jolene lying in a pool of blood, with plants already sprouting from her body. Realizing she had been infected, he bolts into the forest. Trying to catch his breath, he spots a reclaim feasting on Sam, Jolene's son. The horrifying scene triggers his amnesia, erasing his memories back to the accident with Emma. In a daze, he sees a boy lying dead, his clothes tattered. Curiously approaching, he wonders who the boy might be. Suddenly, a woman with a mutated, blood-covered jaw rushes towards him in a panic. She tries to speak, but can't. Failing to recognize her as the reclaimed lady feeding on Sam, Ethan struggles to understand her. Their interaction is abruptly ended by a gunshot, sending the woman tumbling off the bridge with a bullet in her head. May emerges, explaining that the woman is no longer human. She reintroduces herself, realizing Ethan's amnesia has kicked in again. They find a message from Emma stating that Ethan's amnesia is worsening, but the phone dies due to a drained battery, frustrating Ethan. May promises they can charge the phone at her place, calming him down. Together, they ride a bicycle to May's house, as the solar truck is now drained and unusable. Passing by a gas station, flashbacks of a time he shot a reclaimed, trying to attack Emma grazed his memory, but is cut short when he falls, jolting back to reality. May repeats her usual introduction, thinking it's another amnesia relapse, but Ethan assures her he's fine. Upon arriving at May's house, they discover signs of a break-in. Scanning the area, they uncover a man hiding behind a bush. The man, Tom, claims he stumbled upon the house while searching for his wife and broke in, thinking it was abandoned in heat of the apocalypse. Skeptical, May disarms him, as Tom insists he only has one gun and doesn't want any trouble. When he asks for a meal, May proposes a deal, one hot meal in exchange for one chore. Later, Ethan and Tom chop logs for firewood. Curious, Tom asks Ethan how he's related to May. Ethan explains that she's helping him search for someone he lost. May then ushers them inside for a meal, but secretly tells Ethan to say he's not hungry. Though starving, Ethan complies with May's insistence. After Tom finishes his meal, he talks about his wife, Franny, revealing that the last time he spoke to her, 10 days ago, she mentioned foraging near a house that had power. Convinced she couldn't have fallen prey to the reclaimed, Tom suspects she must have been abducted. The conversation stirs blurry memories in Ethan's mind of his lost girlfriend. Realizing Ethan might be experiencing another relapse, May tries to guide him to rest, but he collapses on the floor. May asks Tom to help lift Ethan, but instead, Tom points a gun at her, confirming her suspicions. He seizes her gun, punching her, when May taunts that she'll take it back when he's done. Tom soon starts feeling drowsy, realizing too late that May had sedated the food. Struggling to stay awake, he is knocked out cold by Rose. Later that night, Ethan wakes up to the shocking sight of Tom lying on the ground. Just then, two men, revealed to be Tom's partners, enter the room with guns drawn. Ethan tries to warn an incoming May, but it's too late. They capture her, tying her to a chair. Mistaking Ethan for May's son, they threaten to shoot him to break her emotionally. However, Tom regains consciousness just in time to halt their plan. Accusing May of abducting and possibly killing his wife, Franny, Tom believes she has done the same to Emma and intended to kill them as well when she drugged them. He urges Ethan to search the house with him, confirming they'll kill May if they find evidence. Ethan discovers a locket belonging to Emma, supporting Tom's theory. In a bag containing May's trophies from her victims, they also find a beaded necklace belonging to Franny, proving she had been there. Having seen enough, Ethan confronts May holding her gun. May admits Emma is dead but denies killing her. Realizing there's more to the story, Ethan asks May how long he's had amnesia. Tom, intrigued by this revelation, asks Ethan about his arm injury, but Ethan struggles to remember. Ethan finally breaks down when May reveals he's already dead, infected with the virus. He realizes he was the reclaimed that killed Jolene and her son. Meanwhile, Tom's friend, searching a locked room, triggers a booby trap explosion, finding one of their friends mutated inside. Tom, fed up, grabs May's gun and fires at her, only to have his hand explode instead. The sight of blood triggers Ethan's reclaimed instincts, causing him to attack and feed on Tom. Once normal again, Ethan desperately tries to vomit the human flesh from his system, but May assures him he won't remember. When Ethan wakes up the next morning, his memories are gone. May reintroduces herself as a friend, and together they set out to hunt in the forest. While hunting, he notices the bandage around his arm. Observing closely, flashbacks of his past flicker before him, making him realize the change in color of the heart Emma had drawn on the bandage. Unsure if May is truly a friend, he points his gun at her. May admits to changing the colors, explaining she had run out of red markers. She insists there's no time to explain, as he must be fed soon. Just then, he removes the bandage, confirming plants already sprouting from the injury, and recalls being bitten by the reclaimed he shot while it had tried attacking Emma. May reveals she's been feeding him fresh human flesh, halting the reclaimed transformation process, keeping him fresh and sane. Her revelation ignites memories of how Emma was also forced to kill people to feed him, since the bite incident to prevent his transformation. Realizing May and Emma are the same person, his heart melts, considering how long she must have been doing this. Emma explains that as long as he doesn't transform fully and feed regularly, his youth is retained. Furthermore, the virus causes amnesia, making his memories fail. Heartbroken by her plight, Ethan, in a bid to relieve her pain, shoots himself in the head, but soon realizes the bullet couldn't kill him. Emma stops him when he tries to shoot again. They express their love for each other, locking lips in the process. While kissing, she bites his lip, drawing blood. Realizing his reclaimed instincts might kick in, he tries to push her away. Emma, revealing she's letting go, urges him to continue. After her transformation, the movie ends with both of them holding hands.